Hey there, it's Ashley here with Createful Art. I am traveling and painting in all 50 US states. Today I'm in New London, Connecticut, and I want to show you how to paint a forest today. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and be sure to hit the bell next to subscribe so you're notified when I make new videos. I want to give a real quick shout out to all my Createful Art members listed here who are making this video possible for you to enjoy. Okay, let's get started. So the first step I'm going to take is I'm going to take my 1-inch brush and I'm going to put in the sky, the background. And I'm just adding brilliant blue to my white. So when I'm going like this, I'm doing a crisscross pattern. So I painted to about right here. It doesn't really matter because most of this is going to be covered with the trees. But what I want to do is I want to make this focal point area right here have a lot more white, because the sun's going to come through here. Okay, now I'm taking my silver and I'm going to paint the trail. Okay, so the trail comes over here from this corner and it goes up to the middle about right here. I'm just going to get this basic layer down. So now I'm going to work on the next layer, which is the dirt and the old leaves and stuff. So I'm using my bronze for that. And I'm just going to add it to the spaces over here. Okay, so this one's done down here. Now I'm going up here to this one. So really quick here, I'm going to capture the light that is on the trail for this next layer because I don't want it to disappear or change on me. So I'm going to be using my round brush. It's about a medium size. It's size 8, but they're all different, so depending on the manufacturer. So what I'm going to do is I'm just taking some white and I'm going to use my white to give me the idea of where it's at. So by the end of this, I know where it's at. So there's some coming across here. And it kind of goes in this star pattern because the sun's coming in over here. Now we're going to add in the green of the forest through here and the trees. So we want to do the tree trunks first because the leaves are going to go over that. So I'm moving onto my flat brush with the flat top so that I can have a nice edge on the side of my trees. And I'm going to be using silver. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just looking at these trees and finding the shapes. So for the smaller lines or the tree branches, I'm going to go down to a round brush and I'm just barely putting any pressure on my brush. Okay, the more pressure I put on my brush, the thicker it gets. So I want to put less pressure at the top and then put more pressure as I'm going down. So I'll show you that. Okay, that's how it works. I'm going to put in some tree branches. So I'm going to get out my purple and do some of the trees that would be further back here. I'll be hitting this light through here. Now this is kind of how I get creative with my forest. I put in leaves that are that purple color mixed with gold and it really makes it like shine and stuff. So I really like putting it around where the sun's going to come out. So what I'm doing is I'm just grabbing my round brush here and I'm giving the appearance of leaves through here. Now this is all about being random. Okay, so I'm twisting and I don't want it to look like it's all going the same direction. You're just getting these branches that are going to be close to the rays of that light that's coming through. So where the sun is coming directly, you want to make it a little bit darker than these leaves right here. And that's just going to show that there's more contrast in that area because it's blocking out the sun. So go ahead and add that. Now I'm getting out my phthalocyanine green and my emerald green. And it's going to start looking a little bit green. I also want to have my yellow and my bronze, all kinds of colors to mix here because you don't want to use the same green color or it's just going to look like a messy blob. I mixed a lot of yellow with my emerald green and this is going to be my lightest color. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this around where the sun is hitting those leaves. So it's going to move from being purple to yellow. So where this light's coming in here and it's hitting these leaves, and I moved to a flat brush as well, because I want this to be a lot more chunkier and just be fast. See how my strokes are getting a lot more chunky. And I'm working on the areas that I see where the light comes in. And there's plants all down here on the ground. So it's okay to go down here on the ground. Okay, so now I'm moving up to the darker green, right? Which is still, it's a really light green. And I'm gonna place that down where I see that the light is starting to dissipate from being on top of these. So I always like to carry this over on the purple just a little bit to show that these aren't actual purple leaves. It's just the light on them. You'll see I'm covering a lot more area now. I'm not gonna let a whole bunch of that blue shine through because, man, there's hardly any blue that shines through this. I can always put the blue back if I decide I want it. Move up to the emerald green, and I just use the emerald green purely. Like, I don't mix it. And if you don't like bright colors like this, just change it up to how you want. Add a little bit of brown to it, or tan, just to mellow the colors out. But this is how I like it, so this is how I do it. Okay, so I'm going to mix my phthalocyanine with my emerald green to get a darker green color. And I'm going to put in that darker color now. I'm just looking for the areas that are darker. Like right through here, it's pretty dark. You can always add some bronze in there just to give it a little more of a brown. Just like I made that bush that was dark, you're going to have some shadow pockets in here. And some also like leaves that are a little darker. So you're just going to find the shadow pockets and add your dark green to them. And the further back you get, there's more shadow. So you'll move up on your canvas to back here and add more shadow in this area. So now I'm going to add black to my green for a darker green. Sometimes I add a little bronze just to make it a little more earthy toned. And that's going to be my most shadowed area. Okay, and on my trees I like to add a little more shadow through here. And then I'll add darker parts of the leaves. Okay, see how it's coming together? Can you see it now? So now for this step, I'm going to add in all those dead leaves that are around here, okay? And basically, I'm going to be layering silver, gold, and bronze to do that. Maybe a little bit of green depending on what I feel it needs to come in here. With anything that's on the ground, there's going to be some pockets of shadow. So what I do is I just grab like my gray and black, a little bit of bronze. I'm just going to come in here and show that there's some shadow. So for this, I'm taking my bronze and just pulling it from the edge of that trail, okay, to give it a nice little break. So I've got a little bit more shadow in my trail going on, and then I'm adding shadow to the side. Now I'm going to pull that color from this side as well and go a little bit over my silver to show that there's some leaves on this trail. Every once in a while I'll put like a leaf coming out here. So this is an important step. What I'm doing is I'm taking my brilliant blue that's up here and I'm bringing it down here to create some shadows. That really just makes it all look really lovely. And I'll also add some of those shadows in my leaves as well, on my trees. Okay, it just really helps it. I like it that way. Okay, so there's some grass on this side, and basically what I'm doing is I'm just adding a glaze over the top, so I make sure I have hardly anything on my brush because the grass is basically dead. So you just have to show, hey, there's a little bit of grass on the side. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to add in that sunlight that was coming through this. So just make it so that it's like a star, you know, it comes through here and radiates. Okay, and I hardly have any paint on my brush. That way I can glaze over it. Makes it look wow, doesn't it? And it's the final details like this that you'll do in your last step. So take some time, look back, and see if there's anything you'd like to add to your painting. Make it your own and unique to yourself. Thank you so much for painting with me. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and that bell next to subscribe so that you can get notified when I make new videos. Thank you for all of you who leave wonderful comments for me, and a special thank you to my Createful Art members for making this video possible. They're right here and they help me make these so that you can enjoy them. If you too want to help me create more videos, you get a lot of perks and fun things from me, as well as extra content as well. There is a link in the description below where you can sign up, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!
Whoa, you threw up. Let me. Okay, ready? Set. Here comes the pitch. And the swing. Oh, he's so close.
Where is it?
On the ground somewhere. Oh, right down there.
Where is it?
Look right in front of you.
Where is it?